So this is my house. We've lived here for about 5 years, and we seem to have a lot of kids that come over and play in our front yard. In fact, our garage is kind of like a clown car right now. Lots of different kids coming out, and it's great. We love it. We love being that house that kids love to come over and play at. We've actually tried to set up just a dynamic that kids feel welcome. The one thing that I've noticed is that for all of the hospitality that we show, it really just boils down to relationships. See, this house right here, our house, is connected to a lot of other homes through relationships. Some people we know really well, some people we don't. Like that house right there is made up of Christians, and so is that one. But then as you go a little further down the street, it becomes harder to get to know people. Not that it's impossible. In fact, that house right there belongs to Jay and Lana. They come to the church. And they actually got connected through a neighborhood outreach that we did. There's also this other side of the cul-de-sac. We don't know people down there as well as we do others. But the cool thing is this house right here, this belongs to Nick and his family. And while they're moving, the cool thing is that through a friendship with our neighbors, Craig and Katie James, and us, Nick's been able to come to church. There's also this apartment complex we've done the Back to School Fest at. It's actually kind of cool to think of all the different people in this area alone that we've had the chance to reach. There's people on that side of the street and people on the other side. And right over there is where Wanda and Cody, Ashley, and little Bonnie and their family live. And just, this is the place that we drive by as we're heading to other places in town. You ever stop to think about all the different lives that you pass by? Every house has a story. Every car represents somebody's life, somebody's desire to get from point A to point B, and all that's required in between. And again, what does it look like for you and I to actually care about all of those lives? Now this is another interesting story of a neighborhood. Right here we've got down Waterloo several people that have been affected by Connection Church. It actually started with a house at the end of the street where Breanne Booth lives, and she got connected with some folks, Melissa and Brian Moritz, and then Diane Reese, that's her house right there, and across the street is where Reed lives. But again, just think about how one life can impact another. It's pretty amazing when you think about it. See, one person decided that they were going to reach out, and now because of that, there's a whole lot of people on this street that have a chance to not only know Jesus, but share Jesus. In fact, here comes two of them right now.
One of the challenges in talking about this kind of stuff is you can begin to feel like you can't make much of a difference. There are so many people in this community. There's over 160,000 in Medina County alone, and if you account for all the other cities that we could potentially reach, to the east, to the west, to the north, to the south, it can be overwhelming. I'm reminded of a story, and you might have heard it. It's about a man who's walking along the beach, and he sees this little boy throwing starfish into the ocean. And he's trying to figure out what's going on, so he asks him, he says, what are you doing? And the boy says, well, the sun's coming up, and it's going to burn all of these starfish that have come up on shore. So I'm trying to throw them all back in. And the man looks down, and there's way too many starfish for this one little boy to make any difference. And he actually tells him that. He says, how can you actually make a difference with this many lives, this many starfish? And the little boy grabs one, he throws it back in the ocean. He says, well, made a difference for that one right there. And I was reminded again of how just one little difference can make a world of difference for someone. Just one bit of care and attention. And so, as you think about, what are the things that you can do in your neighborhood? What are the things you can do in your workplace, in your cubicle, wherever it is that you find yourself? And like last night, we had a movie night. We do this a lot in our neighborhood. We just grab a projector from the church and we throw it up on the side of a house, and it brings people together. If you get people together and if you can build relationships, you never can tell what God's going to do through you and through something like that. You can do the same thing. That's why we're doing these block parties in a little bit as a church. So I want you just to think about, again, the numbers are overwhelming if you think of them in terms of what you can do. But just think about, what can God do? What can God do? I mean, that question alone should wow you. What can He do through just one life? A guy named D.L. Moody said, the world has yet to see what one man who is fully committed to God, what God can do through that man. And I think, I want to be that man. And that's what he said. He said, I want to be the man who says, God, just do anything you want through me. Now, is that at all your heart's desire? I mean, do you really just want to get up and do what you normally do every day? Is the greatest life you could possibly be living just doing the same old every day? Aren't you made for something better than that? Aren't you made to really make a difference? And if we did that as a church, if we came together and we really saw our potential, maybe we can just be a bunch of us on that beach throwing the starfish into the water, giving them refreshment, giving them the life that they need. And that, obviously, the analogy is Jesus Christ. We need to step up. We need to do this. I'm just going to ask a real simple question. Where can you think bigger? Where can you think practical? Who in your life just needs your attention? I've shot this video primarily in the places that I go because that's what I know. I know my neighborhood. I know the places I shop. I know the places I frequent. You know the places you frequent. You know the places you shop. So what is that? What is that place for you? How can you enlarge that situation? How can you take this whole us and them philosophy and make it a we thing where they feel included? And so you're smart. You know what you're capable of. You probably even know what you're not doing. Your greatest ability is your availability. Your greatest ability is your availability. Say yes to God. Say yes to Him wherever you go. Just turn that on a little bit. When you go into the store, just remember you're a missionary. When you go to work, you're a missionary. When you go to outside to play, you're a missionary. When you're interacting with people in your neighborhood, you're a missionary. Where's your mission field? I know where mine is. Pretty sure you know where yours is too. Let's be the church.